So I'm in a wheelchair, and every day when I'm going down the street, just navigating seniors and running over babies so I can get to the grocery store and buy an avocado, there's always this one stranger who stops me. Like he's about to tell me the most important thing ever. Every time I'm an idiot and I stop and listen because I think it's actually going to be something great. Like, oh, did you hear that they just opened up a store full of replica Trump toupees and merkins? But this stranger is usually this guy who can barely stand. So I guess we have that in common. So he's leaning over me, his beard's like in my eye and my mouth, and he's drooling on me, but it's kind of nice because it's warm drool and it's cold outside. So I'm sitting there trying to listen to his drunken slurs while blinking his beard out of my eye. But it always ends up being the same stupid nothing. Just how freaking inspirational I am. Oh, it's so nice to see that the hospital you live in probably let you outside today. Keep on trucking. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm so glad that I decided to put on a winter coat and hat and scarf and gloves and hope that they plowed the sidewalks so I could be stopped on the street and talk to you about how all of my problems are somehow all about you now. Maybe I have done some things that you might consider inspirational, but wearing pants and buying Doritos isn't one of them. And then this guy will try to draw a connection with me and act like they totally get it. Oh man, I totally understand what you're going through. My niece's dog only has 3 legs, so I feel you. And this one time, I had to get a wart removed from my left butt cheek, and I was in a wheelchair for like 4 minutes. It was the worst. If it was like 2 more minutes, I would have definitely killed myself. That's how much I love avocados. Now, to be fair, I am pretty disabled, but because my body is useless, the less I really have to do, and still somehow people think I'm doing a lot, thanks to technology and Western medicine and compensated slaves. People drive me places, cook for me, clean my apartment, my clothes, my body. I just have to be present, and I get my dinner shoved into my face while I just stare at the TV and wonder what it would be like to not have winter. Getting up in the morning is super easy because of how disabled I am. Usually, when someone wants to get up, they actually have to do things. They have to get up, use their legs, walk to a shower, wash their own butt, make food, feed themselves. Unless you're that guy Cletus from the street. He just rolls out of his box and puts his hat on the sidewalk. But for me, someone comes into my apartment while I'm laying there awkwardly like a pretzel that was thrown off the assembly line for being too disabled. They come in, say good morning. I ignore them because I hate everyone before noon. And then they ask if I want to shower. Then the only real contribution I have to make is it's just a sound that's obviously not a no or a dying goat. And then I basically enter a trance where I'm only conscious enough to go, I'm done pooping and I'll wear pants today. Then I'm up and dressed and full. It has actually become a weird trend where people objectify disabled people to feel better about themselves. It's called inspiration porn. Basically, people feel so yummy and delicious inside, like they're my Oprah because they help someone less fortunate, they think. People do it because they feel so good until they realize it's actually because they're just sad and empty inside, which is why it's called inspiration porn. And it's always something ridiculous, like, oh, look at this disabled guy eating grapes all by himself. Let's give him some money so he can go out and buy himself some diapers. That'll make his day. But then they just film the whole thing so they can put it on YouTube and people go on their phones and comment like, oh, there's still faith in humanity and, oh, I love people sometimes. My belly feels all nice and filled with warm cookies and milk. And then they go on to the next video and tell everyone in the comments that they hope a llama falls in their face and they get run over by a pavement truck because they voted for Trump. But the whole thing isn't even about the disabled guy in the video. People don't actually care what his name is or what his disability is or why he's eating grapes for dinner. You know those people who donate to charity but they pretend it's 0% about them? Like those lotteries where you buy a ticket and the proceeds go to like homeless giraffes, but there's a chance that if you win, you get a lifetime supply of shoes, which if you're me is 2 shoes. And people just pretend they don't care about winning. They're like, oh, I don't even like shoes. I don't really believe in laces. And it's just at the point now where people have to just think, about helping a person with a disability, and they immediately feel better about themselves. You know, when you see someone on the street and you know that you should be helping them do a thing, but I'm busy, or what if he's weird? Like, I'll see this old lady hunched over with her glasses down her nose, and she's reading a map upside down, looking for the funeral home, probably. And I know where it is. So then I start to think about how I would help her and how I'd walk her to the funeral home and talk to her about her life and get to know her and help her pick out the right casket. And she'll give me half of her will. But instead, I just keep on doing none of that and keep going so I can go home and eat some cheese and think about how nice I am for even thinking about doing it. So don't be inspired by me. I appreciate the thought, and yeah, in a lot of ways, having a disability is the worst. There's oppression and prejudice and ignorance and stares. But there's also a lot of great disabled people out there who have more important things to share than cats jumping away from cucumbers. And a lot of times there's tax deductions. So don't use my situation to make you feel better about your life. Use your situation to help improve the lives of people in mine. But also treat me like a person. And please give me a bunch of money so I can move somewhere where I can actually go outside for more than a quarter of the year.